like a bad dream. We're questioning, what are we watching? And you go through those games and you take a hard loss and you've got to look yourself in the mirror, and it's an opportunity to take ownership. Welcome back to another episode of The Burn. I am Ben Newman, and you know how we do this every single week. We're bringing you a story of an athlete, an entertainer, a celebrity, somebody from the business world who understands that why and purpose is not enough. There's this underlying burn that ignites your why and purpose that causes you to show up on the days you don't feel like it, and especially after you win. And then occasionally, you get special episodes with just me, solo episodes, and occasionally you get them in real time in a different location. So I am coming to you today live from the Miami Dolphins team hotel. Tonight we have Monday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans. It has been a huge blessing for me to have the opportunity to work with the Miami Dolphins organization over the last 8 years. Started off with me just working with the rookie classes every single year, which I still have the opportunity to do. And then those rookies become veterans. I've had the opportunity to provide the chapel sermon before games in the past. There have been some amazing things I've been able to do in these 8 years. And those are some of the little things that people don't get to hear about the work that I do. Oftentimes people only see about 2, 3, maybe 5% on social media of the work that our team actually does. So it's fun to be able to take you behind the scenes. It's fun to be able to help you take perspective from games and athletes and bring them into your lives in terms of how you connect to your burn and how you show up. So tonight's game, this episode is not about the game tonight. Now, I had meetings yesterday. I've had meetings already today. I've got more meetings to get the guys locked in, focused, and prepped for attacking the full 60 tonight. But the message I have for you that I had to come to you in real time, fun to be able to do it from the Dolphins team hotel for this episode of The Burn. But also I wanted to deliver this in real time because of a lesson that was reiterated to me through the fight of the Kansas State Wildcats. And a lesson for each and every single one of us in our lives, that when you face challenge and adversity, it's oftentimes your greatest opportunity to find out how strong you can be. Many of you know, but for those of you that don't know, I'm the mental performance coach for the Kansas State Wildcats. I'm in my 6th season with Kansas State. Also did this work for Alabama for 5 years and 2 national championships with Coach Saban. Wound up at Kansas State after 4 years of doing this work for Coach Kleiman and 3 national championships at North Dakota State. So this is my 10th year working with Coach Kleiman. So we've been through lots of challenge and adversity over these 10 years working together. But 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night in Provo, Utah, we had one of the toughest losses of those 10 years. We went out to BYU, both teams undefeated, 3-0. Kansas State Wildcats ranked 13th in the country. And I never care about rankings during the season. I paint the picture for you for perspective. The rankings really only matter for the fans. I always say until we played every game on our schedule, and then the opportunity to earn the playoff games, the opportunity to earn our bowl games, until every game is done and we see zeros, I don't care where we are ranked. You can tell us after we've completed every single one of those plays, every single one of those games. But I just share that for perspective. So it's 2 undefeated teams for a 60-minute fight in Provo, Utah. For those of you that know what happened in that game, or for those of you that watch that game, and I always appreciate the love and support of the Wildcats, we've created a larger fan base because of so many of you, because of my work with the Wildcats, you choosing to wear purple and to cheer and to root for our young men in Manhattan, Kansas. But this was a tough game. This was a challenging game. The game, while on the sideline, almost felt like it was a bad dream. Almost everything bad that could have happened, happened. BYU special teams muffs a punt. Ball goes all the way back to their 1 yard line. Typically fumbles that we pick up and we run it into the end zone to create points. They pick it up and run it 99 yards for a touchdown. Our star running back ended up having the second fumble of his career. Ball picked up, run into the end zone for another touchdown. Interceptions, tough plays. We had a challenging time putting the ball in the end zone for the first time in over 11 games. It was like a bad dream. We're questioning, what are we watching? And you go through those games and you take a hard loss. And when the game is over, just like for you, when you face challenge and adversity, you have to often look at yourself in the mirror. When it's over, when you see zeros at the end of your day, maybe you're competing for something, you're challenging yourself for something in business, in life, in sports. And then you end up falling short and you've got to look yourself in the mirror, and it's an opportunity to take ownership. And that's what Coach Kleiman did that night in the locker room. He said, so what, now what? He challenged every player, every coach, every member of the organization. Look yourself in the mirror and figure out the next level of ownership that you can take. What more can you do? So take a quick pause and ask yourself that question wherever you are in your year right now. September the 30th. We're getting ready to enter the fourth quarter, the final 25% of your year. Where are you right now? If you're ahead of where you wanted to be, don't you dare be seduced by success. Keep connecting to that burn every single day. Keep stacking days. Keep hammering prize fighter days and keep winning, because the byproduct is continuing to win at very high levels. But if we get seduced by our success, we pull back from our habits, you will stop winning. And for those of you that are behind, so what, now what? Now is the time to take ownership and to recognize often the greatest parts of a fight in a business year are in that last quarter, that last 25%, when all those punches day after day after day start to pay off. Don't lose momentum. Lean in to the challenge and adversity. All right, so back to the locker room with Kansas State at BYU, and coach is saying to us, so what, now what? Can you take the next level of ownership? He challenged the players. And in a lesson that I'd learned so many times before from Coach Kleiman, don't let a team beat you twice.
Have you thought about writing a book, but just don't have the time? We would love to help you make that dream come true this year. Introducing B&C Publishing. We offer an in-house 3-step process to help you bring your book to life. The whole process only takes 60 to 90 days. Compared to 18 months for traditional publishing methods, we work fast. To see if we are a good fit to work together on your project, email our team at info@bennewman.net. That's info@bennewman.net. Now, back to the show.
Don't let this performance in Provo, Utah beat you twice. How many times in our lives do we have challenge and adversity happen? And then expectancy theory takes over. Expectancy theory is a powerful, simple, but powerful principle of psychology. That which you focus on expands. You focus on negative, you get more negative. You focus on positive, you get more positive. So we go through something negative, we get a result that we did not want, and then all of a sudden we keep focusing on it and the negativity grows. That's how you allow a result, a challenge to continue to beat you. Coach Kleiman has always taught us, all the way back to those North Dakota State days, don't ever let a team beat you twice. That means you got to adapt, adjust, and continue to attack. That's not a football lesson. That's a life lesson. That's what he challenged this football team to do. He challenged the team to get back to what makes us great, pounding the stone, one play at a time. How do you build a 60-minute fight one play at a time? You win one day at a time. So for each and every single one of you on this Monday, Monday Night Football Monday, make sure you tune in tonight for the Titans and the Dolphins. Just a little reminder, coming to you live from the Dolphins team hotel, where these guys are going to be ready to fight these Titans for the full 60 tonight, one play at a time. But how did they build this fight for tonight? in a season that hasn't started the way that we drew it up when I was here in training camp with the Dolphins? How are the Kansas State Wildcats going to not allow that game against BYU to beat them twice? You lean in, you adapt, adjust, and attack. You recommit back to the principles and values of the organization and great discipline with intentional focus, remembering that focus is not enough. It's all about your intentional focus in everything that you do. You stack Monday, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday. And last Saturday night, just a few days ago, remember I wanted to bring you this lesson in real time because it's that important. The Kansas State Wildcats show up back at home in Manhattan, 60 minutes back on the clock against Oklahoma State. Just once again, for perspective, Oklahoma State is ranked 20th in the country. We're 23rd. So this would be an upset, us beating a team that's ranked higher than us. So now not only do you have to respond from a tough game, you've got another tough game. You've got an opponent that's supposed to beat you. Not some easy opponent where it's easy to respond. It was going to be hard. And these players, because of what they did on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, just like what you do today, tomorrow, the next day, will dictate what you look back on and what you accomplish this week and in your months, because it's the one day at a time mentality. These boys said, so what, now what? These men made a choice. We will not let BYU beat us twice. And we kicked that son of a gun off on Saturday. And they attacked one play at a time with intentional focus. Play after play after play. When the game was far out of reach in the fourth quarter, we were up 42-13. These young men just kept attacking, play after play after play, not caring about the scoreboard because they made a choice to fight until they saw zeros. It was an incredible shake-back, as the players like to call it. A shake-back, big-time victory that became a reminder for all of us. This is what happens when you stay committed to the mindset that has already made you great. And when you fall off sometimes, or you lack the necessary focus because you're not driving intentional focus, don't let it beat you twice. Recommit. Adapt and adjust to the changes that need to be made in your life. Have that intentional focus. Take personal accountability. Take ownership. Because that's how winning is done. I've had the blessing of working with some of the highest performers to ever walk the face of the earth over the last 19 years of doing this work in business and in sports. We don't always get the results that we want, but we always have 100% control over how we choose to respond. Let's continue to attack one day at a time in our lives in the pursuit of what greatness looks like for you, in the pursuit of what it looks like for you to win championships in your life personally and professionally. We're just getting ready to start this fourth quarter. So lean in, adapt, adjust, attack. Don't ever let the adversity beat you twice, and keep showing up with intentional focus and stacking days, day after day after day. If you show up with that mindset and you connect to your burn one day at a time, that burn will ignite your why and purpose and cause you to show up on the days you don't feel like it, and especially after you win. We are coming for everything. Now we go.